I don't wanna close my eyes. I don't wanna fall asleep 'cause I miss you, baby. And I don't wanna miss a thing. Even when I what is motherfucking hip happening, you big gay gamers? Alright. Dark Harvest Rambling. Part 3. Last episode, Chris and Alex did a little update video on what happened during the events of Log 14. So, yeah. Just, go check that out. Go check out part 2. Go check out the Dark Harvest channel. Link in the description. And, oh my god. Let's just jump into it. Oh my god. So where we pick up on Dark Harvest now is from an upload, a video uploaded by Kind Von der Ritter titled Legacy. And Kind Von der Ritter has some things to say to maybe the audience, most likely Chris and Alex, though. So it starts with a timer. Timer is titled The First Dusk, and it says 0 hours, 0 minutes, 0 seconds, right? So the first dusk has happened. I'm guessing the first dusk was what happened to Greg in Log 14. So, yeah. So the next bit of text says the key, and then right after that it says, you have yet to understand the collective knowledge. What kind of collective knowledge, Mr. Von der Ritter? Next bit of text says, find the key. Find the key at the site of the right where kinder gather. And then finally, we get some footage of a big mouth opening up, and then it says, or suffer. So the full message there at the end is, find the key at the site of the right where kinder gather, or suffer. But yeah, we see Kind Von der Ritter, his big fucking mouth opens up, it goes, right? So, yeah. Then we move on to the next video, uploaded by the Dark Harvest boys, titled The Black Book.wmv. WMV means like Windows Movie Video. Old way of editing shit, you know what I mean? Old editing software, old like software to make things on. That was on Windows computers. I think Windows Movie Video or it still exists, but I don't know. I don't care. Let's just jump into it. Theblackbook.wmv. So the video starts. It's Chris, Alex, and their friend Jesse. They're exploring some kind of old day camp, right? A site of right where kinders gather, right? Okay. Kinder meaning children. So, yeah. They walk up to some building, and it seems to be abandoned. And this video has two perspectives. So we have a perspective of Chris's camera, we have a perspective of Alex's camera, which is very interesting. First time we've seen that in the series. Well, first time we've seen that in one video on the series, right? We've seen perspective from both cameras before, but it was cut up into two different bits of footage. So yeah. They're thinking about coming back at night, and their friend Jesse's like, oh yeah, come back at night. That seems like a smart fucking idea to do. Chris is like, well, come on, man. We can't break in during the day. Someone will see us. So they walk around the day camp, and Chris and Alex decide to split up a little bit. So Chris and Jesse go in one direction, and Alex goes to check out the back of a building. And because they have two different cameras, we're probably going to get to see both perspectives of what both boys find, and yeah, you get it. So they go in, they're exploring around this like day camp area, and they go into some buildings that don't have anything in them, right? But then they go into one little like room, and they find Caligari written on the wall, which is the title of a video by Kind von der Ritter, and some, like, symbols strung up around, graffitied on this wall. So Kind von der Ritter has been here. He's been doing shit. So, we then cut to footage of Alex. He's walking back to Chris and Jesse. He sees some kind of, like, eye symbol on a door, on a wall. It's like eyes with tentacles around it, right? It's kind of Cthulhu-ass shit. So they tell Alex what they found, and then they find a door with a symbol that you guys should already know because I've been using it in my thumbnails. The profile picture of the channel, that symbol, right? Here, I'll turn my camera around real quick so you guys can see what symbol I'm talking about. This is the symbol that I'm talking about. This symbol right here. The one on the door, right? The white, the kind of goes around in like a this kind of shape, has the boom and the circle in it, right? That is the symbol that I was talking about. That is the symbol that I've been using in my thumbnails for this series so far. That is the symbol that is the profile picture of the channel. So yeah. So they find a piece of wood flimsily put up against like a doorway, and in it they find some sort of little black book. This video is titled The Black Book.wmv, right? So they find it. And it kind of looks like the same little book that was in the Kind von der Ritter video, because there's at one point in the video Legacy where Kind von der Ritter's, you know, flipping through pages in a book. So, yeah. They have now found an item left for them by Kind von der Ritter, which is good. It's good progress. They're making progress right here, boys. So, in the Black Book is titled The Collective Knowledge, right? And at the end of the video, Chris writes, in the description there's a download link that the files contain photos of the book and other information. Help figuring this out would be appreciated. Alright, so in the description, Chris links to the Black Book, right? Now, that link is fucking broken now. But you can, if you look up Dark Harvest Black Book on Google, right? On Google, you will find an archive of it. Now, this archive is pretty good. This archive has, like, everything. It has all the pictures, and it also has a long bit of text explaining, like, important bits of the Black Book. So, I'll talk about the Black Book a little bit now, but the Black Book contains, like, explanations about what these like forked dawn are, what these dawns and dusks are, the cycles. The cycles is really interesting because it has all these like little drawings and stuff. It's really cool. A lot of the Black Book is just like empty pages, but plenty of the Black Book is just like this long like text, all written in cursive and stuff like that. It's not exactly too easy to go through, but it's not like too hard to go through either. I am going to leave a link in the description to the Black Book archive so y'all can go through it and have a good time with that. It's very interesting. Very much, it's like, you don't need the Black Book to understand what's going on in Dark Harvest. You don't need the Black Book, but it is good to have. It is, it's cool, like, it's cool in-universe kind of text that, was most likely written by Kind von der Ritter, who you will understand why. As we get further into the series and we get introduced to characters like Daniel Shipman, who does a lot of like research into the happenings of this Dark Harvest universe, you will understand. You will get a grander picture of what is all going on. But it's very interesting stuff. Link in the description. I highly advise everyone to go check out the Black Book. It's really cool. And now we move on to the next video. Alright. Next video is titled The Atlantic Test Site. They're doing shit, boy. Alright, so they're heading to a place called the Atlantic Test Site, and you know they're going to a park essentially that used to be called the Atlantic Test Site or something like that, right? It's a few hours away from where they are, but Chris and Alex are with their friend Jesse yet again. Jesse making another appearance yet again. Seemingly a homie, right? They make a few, they have some fun in the car. I'm not going to spoil any of the funny little jokes that they're telling in the car, but genuinely I am cracking up a little bit over here, because it's my kind of humor, man. It's my kind of humor. They're calling each other faggots and, like, fucking... Look, this was 13 years ago. People were throwing around the word faggot like it just came in style, you know what I mean? I'm still using the word faggot, but look, I have an excuse. I suck off women and men equally, right? I suck them all off. I suck them all. I suck off women and men. I suck off men's big throbbing members and women's beautiful delicate flowers, or whatever those novelists say in their books. But yeah, so they're on their way to the Atlantic Test Site. Alright, now while they're in the car, oh my god. Now while they're in the car, Chris asks for this document. Then another fire joke's thrown out, right? But I'm going to read what we can see on this document here. Department of Intelligence, RESQ 100921. Source, Lieutenant Colonel, redacted. 18th of November, 1957, CAS 21009. Professor, redacted, right? A lot of shit's redacted. Area 61 restricted access level, and then another redacted. Summary, Princeton Experiment Trial 1 failure. After consulting with the director of the project, it has come into question whether further trials should be conducted. A subsequent failure could mean a breach in national security. Text 1. Essential materials arrive at Atlantic Test Site at 09 hours. November 18th, 1957. Subjects are blindfolded during trip and are given a strong sedative prior to trial. Text number 2. 11 hours. Trial 1 is initiated. At the command of Director Redacted. Materials are liquidated and the trial starts successfully. Alright, and then seemingly some text under that has been burned, but it says shortly after trial begins, the blank becomes, and then we can't really read what it is saying towards the bottom there, because it's all burnt up and shit. Yo, how'd this get burned, though? The remaining text that we can read is of 12 and 13 hours are electrical, and then it burnt there. And then all we could read here is what looks like functioning, and magnets seem to be, and then more burnt, and then of the trial, the director wrote the redacted collapse. Seems some kind of Princeton experiment happened here. Interesting. But after that document, they talk about how this book seems to be leading them there. They don't really know what they're trying to find at the Atlantic Test Site, but it's tangible. It's somewhere. Seems like a good place to go to secure some sort of answers, So, but they arrive They arrive at the Atlantic test site. They do be here. They do be doing shit. I feel like I sneeze in so many of these videos. Fucking bless me. Am I right? You better bless me. Oh, what the fuck? Did I just sneeze snot onto myself? I just sneezed nasty fucking bile. I just sneezed all of the 5 humors onto myself. Black bile, yellow bile, blood, cum. I think it's the 4 humors, not the 5 humors. The 5 humors doesn't sound correct, but I don't know. Black bile, red bile, and if all of them are out of whack, you gotta start draining your blood and stuff. You guys want to do some bloodletting? Alright, let's get back to this. So they just arrived at the Atlantic test site. They're here. I'll also say this. When they first got here and they first walked out, the camera started to go a bit blurry. Now, that may just be normal-ass camera blur, but I don't know, it also kind of seems like potentially it's a little bit of unnatural camera blur, but I don't know. I can't really say if this is a Slendy moment or not. I don't hear any fucking in the background or anything like that, so I can't say for certain that it's a Slendy moment or whoa. But the camera is going a bit blurry, so I felt like I would potentially mention it. Could be slightly significant. I don't know. They start, walking around. They check a map and then they start walking around this park, and they're like, "There's some radio towers over there. Let's go over there. That could be significant, right? Could not. I don't know. They don't really know where they're headed. It's a pretty big park, so what they're looking for could be anywhere. But radio towers could mean something significantly, could not, but hey, doesn't hurt to check anywhere in this park. So, I think any place that they would go in this park is a good decision, because they don't know what the fuck they're looking for. I just want to say, the jokes in this video are fire. They're having this is a couple of boys having some fun. So, Watch the Atlantic test site video. This shit's fun, boy. This shit's fun, boy. So, they follow this trail up until they get to some buildings, and the camera goes a little bit iffy for a few seconds when they're starting to walk up on these buildings. Could be significant, could be not. Thought I would mention it. As they start to get closer to these buildings, you can hear some faint, very low audio distortion. Just a little bit of a right in the background of the audio. Nothing too bad yet, but the last couple times we've heard this noise, there's been a big guy nearby, right? Or there's creepy things have been afoot. But besides that, nothing weird's happening yet. They walk up to a building, and there's like this graffiti of like a rabbit with holding like a clock, and then he has like an umbrella in his hand. It may be graffiti, maybe art, but they mention that this like art seems to change, where sometimes it's holding the clock, sometimes it's not, sometimes it's holding the umbrella, sometimes it has balloons, right? Magical graffiti. And also, the rabbit has no face. Iffy. So, they start to walk away from this building, and then heavy distortion, audio, visual, all of it just plays over the footage. Hella hard. And then we cut to it being nighttime. They got flashlights and stuff. The camera seemingly stopped working, but they talk about how it seems to be working now. Iffy, weird as fuck. So, the boys decide, because they've checked everywhere at this point, let's go check in the woods. Let's do it. Man, it's pretty much nighttime. Why are you checking in the woods, you dummy, dumbass, idiot, dummy, dumbass, dumb shits? So yeah, they go check in the woods. Oh, they go into the woods, and they're a little spooked, they're a little freaked out. Chris hears a noise, and instead of dipping out, they decide to go towards it. Oh, goddamn, man. So, they go a bit deeper in the woods, audio distortion plays, and then they see something. Maybe two persons, maybe just the big tall man. I don't know. But they see someone. So they finally turn around, start to run. They're running hard. They're freaking out. Chris is going like, oh fuck, dude. You know, he sounds actually scared. It's pretty good acting moment. Not a horrible acting moment. It's pretty good. And then they see someone underneath a light. The camera's too shaky to really see what the hell it is. But there is some kind of freaky little creeper underneath a light near them. So they keep running. They run hard. They get to the car eventually. You know, they're trying to get that fucking car open. They gotta go. They get to the car. Jesse's fumbling with this shit, right? He's, you know, he fucking turns the headlights on, and there's a guy. Oh, I knew I was gonna sneeze. Oh god. There's a guy. There's a fucking fella in front of the car. He's a freaky little creeper. Kinda looks like Kind Von der Ritter. It doesn't look like the tall man. It kinda looks like Kind Von der Ritter. Yeah, it kinda looks like Kind Von der Ritter. He has like human hands. He's kinda got like the outfit that Kind Von der Ritter was wearing. It's not really... I don't really think it's a big, tall, slendy guy. Doesn't really look like a big, tall, slendy guy. So, as they drive away in the car, they have a little chat. They have a little discussion. And they talk about how Alex is like, maybe we should stop doing this. Chris is like, what, man? Alex is like, following some stupid fucking book. You know? It's giving us no answers. Led us to some test site. And we almost fucking died by some dude that's stalking us. It's like, look, man, maybe we just overreacted. And then Jesse and Alex get kind of understandably angry at Chris. They're like, overreacted? You see what the fuck just happened, bro? They're like, Chris, you're fucking stupid, man. Why did he chase us through the woods? Why didn't he just, you know, come up to us or something? And they get to Alex's house. They walk through the door, and a little bit of camera distortion plays for like a second, and it cuts from nighttime to daytime. They walk back into the house, and Alex is like, we're home, right? And then they notice that it's daytime, and someone in Alex's house, most likely his mom, asks like, did you guys forget something? Video ends. Seemingly, that whole day did not happen. They saw what happened, but anyone outside of them did not experience the events that they experienced. Time dilation, man. They traveled back in time to right before they left, or right when they left the house, kind of shit. Some wild shit, bruh. Some wild shit. Okay, now we move on to log entry number 15. Ugh. So, we start the video out, Chris and Alex are outside of Jesse's house. Jesse texts them and says that whoever was following them at the Atlantic test site has started following Jesse now. So, Kind Von der Ritter is starting to follow them. Is starting to follow Jesse. So they went to his house to help a brother out, So they walk up to the door and they talk about how they decided we're just going to sleep over at Jesse's tonight, right? Just to see if anything happens. Help a brother out, right? Make him feel safer. Alex, as they're walking to the door, though, Alex looks at Chris and he says, you know what I think? Nothing's going to happen. Famous last words, am I right? So they get into Jesse's house. And, Jesse lets them in. They're like, so you think you're being followed? And, Jesse's like, look, I haven't seen anything, but, it's just weird shit. And, oh man. Fucking. Fucking, they're like, so you haven't seen anything, but you think you're being followed. He's like, hey, don't play that card on me. You guys have experienced weird shit too. And Chris and Alex are like, yeah, but we actually saw him. We saw him both times, bro. And, but they're like, look, we're gonna stay over anyway. But, we're gonna stay over anyway, it's fine. So they go to Jesse's room, find a place to set up the camera, and then they pop in Majora's Mask. Playing a fucking classic, bro. A classic. Majora's Mask is so good. Alex proclaims that he loves this game. Well, I love you, Alex. And yeah. Just a couple of bros, just a couple of boys sharing some quality time together. You love to see it. So, they're chilling in Jesse's room. The boys have seemingly fallen the fuck asleep. They've gone eepy. They've gone real seepy-eepy. And they went bedtime. They went real bedtime. And, they got Majora's Mask up on the screen. Fucking Lil Link's talking to the mask salesman. You hear that music? It's definitely like a nod to Ben Drowned or something like that, right? These boys are definitely some creepypasta fans, I'm guessing. And if not, they're either creepypasta fans or they're just really big fans of N64 era Legend of Zelda, which is not a bad thing either. Both pretty good, right? Both pretty good. But we see Jesse's door open. A wave of camera distortion comes over the footage, and we see someone come into the room. But we see that this person who came into the room, this entity, maybe, didn't seem to want to attack or anything. Came in, placed an item down, seemingly kind of looked like the knife, and then left. Just kind of left. I'm guessing it's Kind Von der Ritter, right? I'm gonna guess that it's Kind Von der Ritter. But yeah. Came in, placed item down, left. Then we cut to 2 hours later. The lights are on in the room now, and the black book has been opened up, laid on the floor, and in front of it is the knife that Kind Von der Ritter had. Now, in the book, it is written Trauen, Trauen. That directly translates in German, I believe, to trust. And the knife is on the ground. It seems that Kind Von der Ritter has now unarmed himself. He has now unarmed himself and left the knife that they thought was going to be used to kill them, he has left it on the ground and has unarmed himself and has now left something on the ground saying trust. And I just want to discuss something here. I have a little theory, a little theory with a little bit of evidence. Who has been feeding them answers? Kind von der Ritter. Who has, they perceive him as a stalker at the moment. They perceive him as a threat, which is fair. He's brandished a knife on them. He's, done things that an untrustworthy foe would do. But he's also left them messages leading them to things. He's given them warnings about the big tall man. Seemingly, he at the moment seems to, in my opinion, Kind von der Ritter, if he was a threat at the start, he's not a threat anymore. He's trying to gain their Trauen, their trust, right? He's trying to gain their trust. He seemingly, at the moment, he seemingly wants to help. Doesn't seem like he wants to hinder or harm anymore. He wants to help. So that's my little theory, is that Kind von der Ritter, if he was a foe at the start, he's turned a new leaf, and he wants to help. Or wants them to do something for him, follow something for him. And maybe at the start he thought that violence and fear was a good motivator, but I think he's seeming to turn a new leaf now, and he wants to be on their side. That's my theory, at least. So, yeah, we will continue on now. Trauen directly translates to trust. To trust. To trust me. Stuff like that, right? So, seemingly, he wants to be on their side. That's my theory, at least. But that is where the video ends. And we continue on with the next video. Now we move on to the next video. The day camp revisited. Ugh. Okay. The description reads, "We returned to the day camp where we found the black book. We returned to the day camp where we found the black book." Alright, I will read the rest of the description. I know that couldn't have been him. I still haven't looked at the photo I took yet. I'll upload it to Twitter at a later time. I think I'm still shaking. So, seemingly they're gonna see something at this day camp. But, yeah. Let us jump into this video. The day camp revisited. Alright. Woo! Day camp revisited. So, they go back to the day camp. Because they're revisiting it. Haha, get it? Woo! Alright, so the video starts them walking up to the day camp. Get it? Because they're revisiting it. Ha 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 ha. But Jesse, they're with their friend Jesse again. Jesse's back. Woo! Jesse crawls in through the window and runs to go get the front door open, right? So then the video cuts to them inside the entrance of the day camp. They're putting on these masks, right? They're putting on these little medical masks, because the day camp most likely is filled with, like, asbestos and shit, right? Bad shit. Not good shit. So yeah. It's better to be safe than not. So yeah, they put on these masks so they're not breathing in toxins. So they're not breathing in toxins and unfavorables into their lungs. So they're in this day camp and they're walking around, they're checking things out, right? This dark ass day camp at night. They're checking in like boxes and drawers and safes and shit for anything, right? Not really finding anything at all though. They go into a bathroom and they find a bunch of pills, so they decide to just like take a bunch of them, right? They all look like to seem to be the same kind of pills, but yeah, they all just like take a bunch of them. They find a little symbol on a wall, a little freaker symbol, a little creepy freaky symbol that keeps coming up in the book and in random locations all over the place. Then they turn around and they find a chalkboard with that symbol from earlier. The one that was drawn on the door, the one that is going to be in the thumbnail of this video, and the one that is on the profile picture of the channel. Right? And right below it they find a TV with an eye drawn on it. Like an eyeball. And they also find a bunch of stuff like written, a bunch of other symbols written on the chalkboard, just a bunch of stuff. So they take a picture of it so then they could look at it later. They don't want to stay in the day camp. They want to stay in the day camp as little as possible. Just fair. It's creepy as hell in there. They continue looking through more rooms, and Alex is like, I know, I get it. We want to find who killed Greg, but this isn't the way to do it. And Chris is like, did you see that fucking last room with the chalkboard and everything? Come on, man, this is the fucking place. Right? So get over it. They walk back down the stairs and get to the ground level. They start exploring some room that has a bunch of just stuff written all over it. And, in this room, there's a bunch of stuff drawn on the walls. Something to note that is drawn on the walls is a bunch of branches, a bunch of tentacle-like branches that all lead to one thing. And that one thing makes Alex freak the fuck out. He goes, oh, what the fuck? And he yells it. Both Jesse and Chris freak out. Light gets pointed at it, and it is a mural of the big tall man. And that's where the tentacles that are around this room lead to, right? Chris is like, yo, Alex, it's just a fucking mural. Calm the fuck down, okay? And on the floor, there's that symbol again, the triangular symbol with the lines and the circle in the middle of it, right? The one that's in the thumbnail of this video, the one that's on the profile picture of the channel. You know, I've said this a few times already, right? It's that symbol. It's that symbol drawn on it. But after seeing this mural, Alex is like, I want to leave right fucking now. And Jesse's like, dude, we can't leave. It's obviously showing us something, right? Alex starts to get a little bit angry. It's like, what? What? Some fucking book? Some fucking codes we don't understand? Chris is like, yo, you know what a fucking code is? You know, it's to keep things secret. And Alex is like, don't talk to me like I'm fucking stupid. They're having a little friend argument. It's kind of like watching, you know, your parents, like you go over to your friend's house and their parents start having an argument. That's how it feels watching this part of the video right here. There's marital issues between Alex and Chris, man, and it's really sad. And Jesse just has to sit here and watch it and try not to pick sides, but, you know, whatever, let's continue. But Chris's response to Alex being like, don't talk to me like I'm fucking stupid, is being like, obviously it's leading to something bigger than this, right? So if you don't fucking see that, you're fucking stupid. And Alex is like, I'm leaving right now. Jesse is like, you're not leaving, bro. Jesse tries to grab at him. Alex and him have a little scuffle. Alex pushes him back. And Alex starts to leave. And he's like, fuck you. Chris is like, no, fuck you. Alex starts to leave. And Chris is like, Alex, calm the fuck down. Come on. We're here for a reason. Let's fucking go, right? We're here for a reason. Jesse's like, both of you, calm down. Stop being little bitches. They're having a real, like, they're having, like, a real teenage argument right here. You know what I mean? Like the kind of arguments that you have with your high school friends when it turns into an actual argument. Now, me and my high school friends, we did not have these arguments because we understand the act of talking things out, right? But, look. I can understand why they're arguing in this moment. Alex is spooked. Chris is spooked but determined to see answers. And, you know, there's a lot of stress. A homie died. you know. But they catch up to Alex, and Chris is like, come on, man, please, please, dude, I'm begging you, please stay. Chris is like, please, man, I'm begging you, please, please, right? Chris wants him to stay. Chris wants Alex to be there when they, find something or something. But then a fucking terrifying ass scream just happens out of nowhere. Some kind of rah type shit. Some actual scary motherfucking shit, dude. And, then the camera cuts. The camera cuts to next scene, right? Alex is like, we're getting the fuck out of here right now. Chris is like, we need to go figure out what the fuck that was. Alex is like, I don't even want to figure out what that was. That was fucking scary. Chris is like, that's exactly what we need to know. Give me the fucking flashlight, right? So, Chris is determined, right? Chris is fucking determined. He's scared, but he's determined. He wants to go figure out what the spooky spook was. Ooh, that sounded a little bit racist. Ooh, the spooky spook? What the fuck? What the fuck? I shouldn't be using the term spook. Holy shit. The spooky creeper, alright? Chris wants to go figure out what the spooky creeper was. Alright, let's... Woo! Someone important comes across this video, they're about to be like, I'm about to end this man's whole career. Alright, let's move on. Let's move on. Whoa. What I just said there is scarier than anything else that's ever happened in this series, bruh. Holy shit. So, Chris starts to walk towards the building again. He points the camera at it. And you can hear Alex in the background being like, you're fucking crazy, Chris. All that kinds of shit. But, he, spooky shit. He points the camera at the building, and, so yeah, he walks up to the building, points his flashlight into the building, and there seemingly is someone in the building who walks by and kind of notices a light shining in. Now it's a person in a black robe, and they're wearing a V for Vendetta mask, wearing one of those Guy Fawkes masks, right? The mask with the little eyes and the mustache and the mouth, but it's all like, not like a black mustache, but like just it's a face with a little design on it, right? Doesn't seem to be Kind von der Ritter, because when we've seen Kind von der Ritter, he's never worn a mask like that. He's always worn like these like a white mask that has like a pale kind of face on it. No noticeable markings on the mask or anything like that, but this is a different mask. Seeming to be kind of like a different outfit too. Kind von der Ritter kind of looks like he's wearing like a bathrobe type robe, right? This dude's wearing some like proper ass robes. But yeah, that's what's in the building. Is a guy. It's a fella. It's a fella, seemingly in the building. Seemingly the one who made the spooky ass scream. So yeah. That is what happens at the end of that video. And then we move on to the next video. Update number 4. In update number 4, Chris is recording a little update for us. But his webcam seems to be broken, so he's just going to stream his computer screen. And he's on a page. He's on a little blogspot page called Project Egypt. Yeah. Chris says that he'll explain the Project Egypt blog in a little bit, but first he wants to give a general update. Since the Daycam video, Alex doesn't seem to want to speak to Chris. Chris thinks that Alex thinks that it's just some kind of elaborate ruse that this dude is putting up so then he could kill Chris and Alex, right? But Chris sees something a little deeper than this. He's seeing something a little... He's seeing something a little deeper than just... oh, this dude wants to kill us. There's seemingly something bigger going on than just... oh, this dude wants to kill us, right? It is... oh, God. It seems that... there's something bigger. Chris is thinking that, there's more people involved than just this tall man and Kind von der Ritter and them, right? He's thinking that black book that they found is the writings of a cult. Everything that's kind of been happening is seemingly pointing to this fact that there's a cult. Chris discusses this, right? He says even their good friend Greg, seemingly what happened to him may be a part of this whole thing also. And Chris doesn't want this cult or this group of people to get away with this. Chris says that he wants all of this to go away, but it's not going to go away unless they face it. Chris is being a big man in this situation. He's being a big boy. He's being a big boy. And Alex is being a big baby bitch. Yeah, I said it. Chris even says it himself, He doesn't understand Alex's change of heart. Alex seems to have given up at this point, but Alex knows that he's a part of all of this as much as Chris is, and that giving up is not really an option anymore at this point. They're kind of... They looked down the rabbit hole and they fell in type shit, right? Especially now that Jesse's involved. Chris doesn't want any more of their friends being involved or getting hurt, right? So this needs to stop. And this is what the Project Egypt is all about. The Project Egypt blog is all about. Chris has been doing research, trying to find out more things from this book, right? He's been researching things from this book that he doesn't quite understand. And one of the things that was confusing to him was the name Gorl, right? Which is supposed to be like the god in this book. Chris didn't understand like the language or what Gorl even means, but it seems like a key thing. It seems important. So that's why he is going in depth on this. Right? He's looking up what Gorl even means. And this made him come across a blog, Project Egypt. So Chris looks up Gorl, it leads him to the blog, Project Egypt, run by this dude named Daniel Shipman, who's doing research about this archaeologist named Heinrich Kaufmann. But Chris looked through the blog, and the information seems very valuable, really helpful and relevant to the situation and what's going on. But Chris says that he's going to send this blog to Alex, and hoping that Alex doesn't hold grudges for too long, you know what I mean? But yeah. So that is update number 4. In the description of this video, there's a link to the Project Egypt blog. I will leave a link in the description to the Project Egypt blog for anyone to read and look into themselves. It's very good. It's very fun. More in-universe text pertaining to Dark Harvest. So, some interesting stuff. Give some backstory on the origin of name of Gorl and this god and just other stuff, right? It's its own little kind of side story that pertains to the universe of Dark Harvest. It's very interesting. And Daniel Shipman, the creator of Project Egypt, will come back in a slightly later time in Dark Harvest. So, you know, this blog is pretty pertinent information. Also, I will drop I didn't do this last time, but I should have. So in part 2, I will drop the Kind von der Ritter blog, the Kinder von der Ritter blog, into the description of part 2. So, you know, people have that. Alright, next video, log entry number 16. Alright, log entry number 16, pretty short. Essentially, Chris says that he hasn't made a video in a while because not much has been going on. Him and Alex have been talking a lot, again, and they're on good terms and shit, right? But Alex messaged Chris this morning saying that he had a video that he emailed to himself, right? Seemingly kind of like what happened to Chris towards the start of this, towards the start of Dark Harvest, right? Emailing stuff to yourself. But Alex watched the video and it kind of freaked him out, right? And Alex sent the video to Chris and said, upload it to Dark Harvest immediately. So Chris is just giving us a heads up because he doesn't know what this video is going to be, but he's going to upload it. And that is where we move on to the video that Alex found on his computer. And that video is titled my_final_betrayal. The video starts with some people walking up to the day camp. They seemingly go into the building with no problem. They don't have to climb through any windows or anything like that. They just go in. And they enter into that room with the Slendy Guy mural on it. There's a bunch of people in mass in the room, candles lit, kind of like an occultish type vibe to this group of people. Seems like these masked people are doing some sort of ritual, you know, everyone kind of walking up to the front, to the person standing in the front. He's touching them on the head, and then they're going back to their spots. And, the audio is all distorted and shit. It's all fucked up while it's going on. And then audio cuts back to normal, seemingly what's happening inside the building. They're all singing some sort of hymn, right? They're going like, oh. So they're going like, right? They're singing hymns and humming and cult shit, right? Cult shit. And as they go deeper into the song, it seems like oh god, I feel like I'm gonna sneeze, but I don't think I am. Fuck. Alright, so it seems like this, you know, this cult is singing hymns and they're doing some sort of ritual. And then we get a big flash of like a right? Camera distortion happens too. And then time seemingly freezes. And whoever was recording seems to be walking around, you know, kind of going closer to these people, standing still and stuff like that. Now, before we continue on with the explanation of this video, I kind of want to give a little theory. So, who do we know, you know, sent emails, used Chris and Alex's emails to, like, send them things, right? Their own emails. Kind von der Ritter, right? Kind von der Ritter seems like the person who was doing that to Chris's email earlier on in the series. So it would make sense that it would be Kind von der Ritter doing it now. Now, this video is titled My Final Betrayal. So, what we know about Kind von der Ritter is that he wants these boys to trust him now, right? He wants to help these boys out. Seemingly. So, My theory is that Kind Von Ritter used to be a part of this cult that worshipped the tall man, but he left. Maybe after learning that they were doing nefarious deeds or something like that, right? So Kind Von Ritter left. Or learning that the tall man's not something to worship. As we've seen before, because the tall man killed Greg, right? Gorai Leotep, this tall being, murdered Greg. And maybe Kind Von Ritter learned that, maybe this isn't something to worship. So I'm thinking my final betrayal is him showing footage of this cult, right? Him kind of showing Chris and Alex more to their face that, there is something bigger going on behind all of this. There is something going on here. This is my theory, that Kind Von Ritter is still on the path to trying to help Chris and Alex, and this is his way of helping. Showing them that, yes, Chris, you are right. There is something bigger going on here. But, let's get back to the video. Whoever is behind the camera has seemingly stopped time and is now walking around this cult, and he's, showing off everyone in their masks, walking up to the dude holding this book who was in front, right? Seemingly the leader, or, the person leading this ritual. And the person leading this ritual kind of looks like the person at the end of the day cam video. So, yeah. But, yeah. Pans around, and then we cut back to continuing on with the ritual. Right? Cameraman's back in his spot, he's recording everyone. Now, let's talk about that little time stoppage thing, right? Now, only other time we've seen time dilation and fucking with time is in another video where Kind Von Ritter was in, where they go to the Atlantic test site, they spend a whole day there, it becomes nighttime, right? They get chased out of there by Kind Von Ritter, and when they get home, seemingly time is shifted back to the start of that day, when they were about to leave for the Atlantic test site. So, yeah. My theory is that it's Kind Von Ritter behind the camera, right? And it seems like the cult doesn't exactly know that they're being filmed. Maybe they do. Someone's filming something, and, someone's taking video of things that they probably shouldn't be taking video of. But, who knows? Then the person behind the camera walks up to one of the members of the cult. They all kind of... few of the members kind of surround him. They force him to the ground. The man at the front picks up some kind of big, large, spike-type object. Seems to drive it into the guy. And then those two members that forced him to the ground start to carry him out of the building. Right? Now we're starting to get a picture here. If it is Kind Von Ritter, why this video is my final betrayal is because he most likely understands that this tall man is not someone to be worshipped, right? And he also understands that this cult is doing nefarious deeds for their god, for this tall man, right? Gorai Lehotep. Kind Von Ritter most likely at first was probably okay with these actions because he was probably brainwashed by this whole, cult thing. He was probably kind of brainwashed into the idea that this will lead him to an afterlife, some sort of next life, next form of living. But probably at a point started to doubt it, started to doubt the violence that the cult did, and also started to doubt the violence that the tall man does. And he started to realize probably not a great thing to do. And that's why he probably got Chris and Alex involved, right? Because he needed people. He needed outside forces to kind of understand that there's nefarious shit going on. And because, you know, they're like tied so closely to this house where a man seemingly disappeared, right? Mark McComber, kind of seeming like Mark McComber was tied into this whole thing, and Kind Von der Ritter kind of guessed that this is a good course of action to take. I will kind of try to get these people to understand me. He maybe started out with violence at first, and that's why Chris and Alex didn't really go along with it, but then he eventually moved on to trust, right? He unarmed himself. He dropped the knife near the book that said trust in it, or to trust, right? So he seemingly has turned over a new leaf. He's changed so then he could get the help that he needs, or at least show people that there is something going on and it's fucked, right? And it doesn't need to be going on, and it shouldn't be going on. Yeah, that's my theory, at least, is that Kind Von der Ritter, and that's what this whole My Final Betrayal video is all about. It's him kind of, he's led Chris along the path of understanding that there is kind of something deeper behind this, some sort of cult, or something like that behind this. And now that Chris finally starts to understand that, he sends this video to Alex, right? So then Alex can also understand that there's something deeper going on. And also, so Chris has that proof that he was looking for, that yes, there's a cult behind this, and yes, there is something bigger going on, right? This My Final Betrayal video seems like some sort of, like, in Kind Von der Ritter's kind of whole big master plan type thing. So that's my theory about this video. Alright, and that video ends there. So we move on to log entry number 3. So also one thing that I want to mention. So we have mention of like a cult now, right? Now, there was something kind of iffy towards the start of this series, and it was the dude dressed like the tall man, like the Slendy guy. I'm guessing he was a part of this cult too. And this cult kind of knows that Chris and Alex have had weird happenings going on, and you know, they kind of that suited cultist man, the dude wearing the Slendy outfit, who I was calling the suited imposter. Most likely, I'll call him suited cultist now, because that's what the Dark Harvest wiki calls him. Was most likely looking into Chris and Alex for this cult. So, yeah. But log entry number 17. We kind of get confirmation that this cult is looking into Chris and Alex now at this point, because from the start of this video, Chris and Alex are driving in a car, and Alex is like, yo, did I tell you what happened? Alright, we were playing games. I went downstairs to the freezer to get a drink, and you know, the dog started barking, and it looked like someone was staring at me, or looking in at me, through my side door. So I turned the light on, and I look outside, and it looked like there was 3 figures bolting towards the woods. Bolting towards the woods across the street. 3 figures staring into Alex's house, you know, looking at Alex, watching him, right? Shit's happening, shit's going on. Right after Chris mentions a cult, and right after they upload a video of this cult, now there's 3 people looking into them. Sus as fuck. Chris asks him, like, did you call the cops? And Alex is like, no, I don't feel like I should, you know? Cops haven't been any help to us at all. They seemingly don't want to deal with us anymore. You know? It kind of seems like we're on our own. And seemingly how it is, you know. They're on their own. So, they go back to the day camp, try the front door, right? Obviously locked. They try the side door, and it's blocked by wood. Can't even look into the building anymore. But when Chris brings his camera towards that side door, you start to hear a little bit of a, right? Audio distortion. They try the back window where they got in originally, and it's now boarded up. It's like they knew that they were going to come back here, right? Chris ends the video off with a perfect statement saying, well, there goes that idea. And the description of this video just reads, back to square one. Alright, now we're on log 18. Yeah, so, log 18, sorry, I'm looking at the comments right now, because I usually, before I start a video, I usually look at the comments and just see what people are saying. And there's the comment on this video, there's only 46 comments. So, if y'all go to log 18 of Dark Harvest and find it, you know, you maybe can. From me 4 years ago, just the comment that says, Chris, don't touch that, Chris, stop. What the fuck does that even mean? I guess we'll learn as we watch this video. I guess we will all learn together what my comment is. But it's from SlopHunter333. Chris, don't touch that. Chris, stop. And it's quoted, so it seems like it's a quote from the video. But yeah, I don't even remember. I don't remember when I left this comment. Sometime in 2020, right? 'Cause 4 years ago. Or end of 2019, I don't know. But yeah, just the comment just says, Chris, don't touch that. Chris, stop. Oh, that's so funny, dude. I'm fucking funny, bro. I'm fucking humorous as hell, boy. I'm humorous as hell, boy. Alright, let's just jump into it. So the video starts. I think it's Alex recording something. I think it's Alex. Because it's taken in Alex's house, and it's, you know, Alex's, yeah, you know. But, Alex records, himself just doing some stuff, and then he walks downstairs, and he records outside of his house's window, sees nothing, and then he goes down into his basement. Wait, alright. So I just went back. What he recorded outside seems to be, like, a few people across the street from his house. You know? So Alex goes down to his basement. He grabs a fucking axe. You're crazy, bro. But I see you. I got you, boy. I got you. So Alex goes outside. Starts to chase after these people with the axe. Goddamn. Strong man right there. Strong big boy. Strong big boy, crazy big boy. Right? So he's chasing after these people yelling like, come back here. Type shit. Get him, Alex. Get him, boy. Then, heavy wave of distortion plays over the footage. Actually looks really cool, too. It's pretty cool camera distortion. But, yeah. Then we cut to footage of Alex calling Chris, and he's like, Chris, you need to come over here now. So, Chris shows up. He's got a little sick-ass headlamp, right? Chris grabs something out of his fucking trunk. They're both strapped up. They're both ready to fight. And as they're walking towards the woods, because Chris is like, we're going into the woods, right? As Chris and Alex are walking into the woods, Alex is like, I also fucking, you know, Alex tells him like, hey, I was trying to chase those 3 guys that were staring at my house again. I also saw the guy at Greg's, the big tall one, right? You know, the big tall guy. So after Chris hears that there's a tall 9-foot man in the woods that killed their friend Greg, Chris says, I don't fucking care what kind of circus freak he is. I'm gonna go in there, I'm gonna kill him, I'm gonna teach him a fucking lesson. Oh my fucking god. Oh my god, that's so good. That's so good. And I just want to highlight this comment that I saw in the comments about this part right here. I have to say I admire Chris, who when informed that someone saw the 9-foot tall guy who in addition to killing his friend is also worshipped as a god by cultists and is from another dimension, his reaction is to go into the woods and kill Slenderman. Rest easy on your cast iron balls, Chris. Rest easy. Facts, bro. Fucking facts. I love this shit. Chris is like, I love this fucking shit. Chris is like, oh, big creepy man in the woods, big creepy man in the woods killed our friend Greg. I'm gonna fucking kill him. I'm gonna fucking teach this guy a lesson. That's great. Alright, let's keep going. Alex do be spooked though. Alex is like, look, we don't know what we're dealing with here. This guy's 9 foot tall. Chris, no response, bro. He's just walking forward. And as they get deeper into the woods, audio distortion, obviously, right? So Chris and Alex find a bag hanging from the tree, kind of like what they found earlier on, the bag with the freaky little stuff in it, right? And we get to the part that I quoted in the comments where Chris is touching this bag. He's investigating it. And Alex says, Chris, don't touch that. Chris, stop. Bro, I'm funny. Bro, I'm fucking funny. So, you know, they go in, you know, after Chris is touching this bag and Alex says, Chris, don't touch that. Chris, stop. Fucking Alex brings up a good point, though. 3 guys run into the woods. 3 bags now hanging from the trees. And he's like, Chris, we don't know what we're dealing with, man. And Chris just fucking says, shut up. Dude, Chris. Iron cast balls, bro. Balls of steel. Great balls of iron, brother. Alex is like trying to convince Chris to you know get the hell out of there. And Chris is like, but he's in there. We could stop him. We could kill this fucking guy. And then Alex is like, dude, we don't know that. We don't know what happened to those 3 guys. That could happen to us. Alex is spooked though, and Alex is like, look, man, I'm leaving. Chris is like, I can't go in there alone. Alex is like, look, man, we're not doing this shit. Look, we'll come back and investigate another day, but not at fucking 12 o'clock at night. Doesn't make sense, right? Can't even see him. It's too dark and shit, right? Alex is spooked. Alex is fucking scared. Understandably. 3 guys went into the woods. 3 bags hanging from the trees. Those 3 guys are gone. Those 3 guys are fucking dead Dunny Dunzo, bro. Fucking... They're gone, dude. They're done. That is where this video ends. Not this video, but that is where log number 18 ends. Now let's just move on to the next video. We have 2 more videos in season 1. So, even though this video is going to be kind of long, we're finishing it out with season 1. So, let's continue. And now, we move on to log number 19. So this video starts, Chris and Alex walking back to where they were gonna try and chase the big tall man down in at the end of the last video. And they're talking about how he's probably not gonna be here anymore. Right? He wouldn't stay around this long. They walk into the woods, right? Some faint audio distortion is playing in the background, but nothing too crazy. Nothing too crazy. And they find some masks laying around in this area, right? Yeah, a couple of masks, right? The same kind of masks that the cultists were wearing. And you know, they find some scraps of clothing, just some random stuff. Find 3 masks, right? 3 guys, 3 masks, 3 bags. These guys went back here in this patch of trees, and something definitely went down with these fellas. They walked deeper into the woods, and seemingly the suited cultist has made his return, right? Because we've seen the Slendy guy in the series before. 9 foot tall, big guy, right? But we've also seen a guy who looks like the Slendy guy. Walking, running, pushing, hitting, right? The suited cultist has made his grand return. He's wearing the suit, he's wearing his mask. He's investigating back in these woods. He notices Chris and Alex. Chris and Alex start to run back. So, they're running, and they're running, right? Chris turns the camera back, and we seem to see something going on behind them. You know, the suited cultist dude was chasing after them, but he has seemingly been stopped by Kind von der Ritter. There's a scene playing out here. But before we really get to see what's even going down in this situation, Chris and Alex, they book it the hell out of there. And then we see the tall man himself, bbgorl. Chris falls to the ground, turns the camera back, and we see the tall man himself, bbgorl, has gotten closer to Chris. Seemingly teleported closer to him, hulking over him. Chris gets the hell up, starts to run, points the camera back at him, right? Visual and audio distortion are playing. And Chris and Alex book it the hell out of there. The tall man has gotten even closer. So they get across the street going towards Alex's house. Chris points the camera back again, and tall man is even closer than before. But Chris and Alex, they keep running, right? Keep running towards Alex's house. Get home. Home stretch, BB. Chris and Alex get into his house. You know, Alex locks the door and shit. Chris points the camera towards the school. From right across the street from Alex's house where they were before, right? The big guy's still there. Still hulking. Standing 9 foot tall, big tall man. So they go hide in the basement. Chris asks Alex, what the fuck was that? Alex is like, yo, fucking told your ass, right? Big guy, big man, right? Alex is like, yo, call the cops. Chris is like, phone not working. Chris is like, yo, try your phone. Alex is like, phone's still broken. And they hide out in the basement. Alex is like, yo, you see how tall he was? Chris is like, of course I did. Alex is like, yo, maybe we can go use the side door. Bolt the hell out of it. Chris is like, bro, see how fast he was? He was right behind us every time. So, you know, try and call the cops, right? Alex's phone's still broken. They go upstairs because they're going to go use a landline. Alex brings the axe. And then the big tall man is in the house. Right? Peers down through a doorway and boom. He's there. Video ends there. And then we go into the last video in Season 1. And the last video we will go through in this video. Log entry number 19.5 update. Chris says since the last video they called the cops and a hurricane hit. And now they're just going to go investigate around. You know, see what they could find in where they were originally. And, you know, so they're investigating. Seemingly, they're fine from what happened at the end of log 19. They're seemingly okay. So they're kind of just going over what happened in log 19. So they go back. They said, you know, Fucker started chasing us from over here. We ran. Fucker started chasing us from this like little patch of trees over here from what we saw in 19. We ran, and then a second dude who looked like Kind von der Ritter came in from this little patch of trees over here, tackled that guy to the ground, the one who was chasing them, and they said that the police had found like a little pool of blood on the ground, and that, you know, seemingly has been washed away by the hurricane at this point. But they do find mask with eye holes on it, right? Or some kind of piece of cloth with eye holes on it. Does look like the kind of mask or whatever that the suited cultist man was wearing when he was chasing Chris and Alex before he got tackled down. So yeah, so they, you know, walk out of that little patch of trees, show us where the big Slendy guy was, right? In that schoolyard area. And then Alex brings up a pretty good point, right? You think it was a good idea to go back there? I mean, Detective Amsel, you get a detective's name now, Detective Amsel told us not to go back there anymore, to butt out. And we didn't. And it seems like the deeper we investigate, the more people get hurt. That pool of blood could have been us. That's what he's saying, right? And, I don't know. Maybe not that pool could have been you, because Kind von der Ritter seems to be on your guys' side now at this point, right? Right? So, I don't think you would have died of that cultist, because Kind von der Ritter is always kind of around. Now, when it comes to the big Slendy guy, that's different. Big Slendy guy, he could hurt you if he wants to. He doesn't seem to want to. Seems to kind of just... I don't know. I don't really know what the big Slendy guy wants with Chris and Alex, but he, you know. But Alex also brings up another good point, which is, you know, the last time they butted into something, Greg died. Alex brings up another point, and that, you know, well, Chris says that... Oh, dude, a brain fart, holy shit. So Chris says, you know, it's not our fault that Greg died. The entire reason we're doing this is to find out what the fuck is going on. Alex says, you know, we're not equipped for this, though. Detective Amsel said that he would find this guy. And Chris is like, but the cops haven't fucking done shit for us at this point, right? And Alex is like, well, he's not the cops. He hasn't even told us what division he's with. Alex says, this is a lot bigger than us. And Chris is like, well, why the fuck should we listen to him? Instead of just the regular cops. Cops haven't helped us. Chris is like, so you want us to just stop? Alex is like, yeah. That's exactly what I want us to do. Chris is like, yo, how the fuck can we stop, bro? We, you know, there's always shit going on. How the fuck do we stop? Alex is like, look, man, we're not prepared for this kind of shit. I'm not just thinking about us, I'm thinking about our friends and our families, you know. I don't want them to get hurt also. Personally, I think Alex is being a pussy. A pussy and a queer. And a little gay boy. And I'm more inclined to kind of be on Chris's side with this one. What the fuck have the cops done? Not shit. What the fuck have y'all done? Found some answers at least, you know? Y'all done more investigating than the motherfucking cops have. It's like, I know it's been a long road. I know this started out with your doors shutting, but at this point, you know, it involves life or death, and Chris is like, I don't know, maybe you're right. No, Chris, don't listen to Alex. He's a pussy. He's being a bitch. Don't listen to him, Chris. Don't listen to him. He's a pussy and a coward and a bitch. Yeah, I said it. Fuck you, Alex. Chris is like, maybe we should just stop, right? They talk a little bit more. And then Chris starts to walk away. Alex turns the camera to himself and he leaves a little message, being like, thank you for everyone giving us information on Kind von der Ritter and the Black Book and all that stuff, right? This is becoming a little bit too much for us and we're just gonna stop for now. Thank you for everyone who's given us kind messages about Greg. They very much appreciate it. But we're just gonna stop for now, or at least I am. I'm done with this, right? Alex says he's done with it. And then it ends with Alex seeing something, you know, he looks over at something, he looks back, camera starts to go all distorted and shit. And that is the end of Dark Harvest Season 1. Being left on a little bit of a cliffhanger here, a little bit of a seemingly kind of like a, whoa, what's going on? And, you know, Dark Harvest Season 1 is ended. Dark Harvest Season 1 almost feels like a nice little self-contained story of cults and shit going on, you know. Oh, also, by the way, all throughout log entry 9.5, there's been this kind of, throughout the whole video, there's pretty much this, like, kind of small, droning little, like, distorted noise, right? That classic, that noise. So, yeah. But, seemingly, Dark Harvest Season 1 is this nice little self-contained story where two boys lose a friend and, you know, shit goes bad. But that is not the end of Dark Harvest. And we will continue on in the next video where things go deeper, they run deeper, right? Shit gets wacky wild. But for now, this is where we end off. And I will continue on with Dark Harvest in Season 2 in the next video, in Part 4. But this has been Part 3. Thank you for watching. Very much appreciated. I love you. Go check out Dark Harvest. Link in the description. I will leave other links to the Black Book and Project Egypt in the description also. Thank you for watching. Love you, love you, love you, love you, love you. I love you. Brofist. Brofist.